Forum Amamansi Networks. Excuse me. Today we have a very special topic. We are talking about persons with disability when it comes to dating and relationships. I have here with me Madam Veronica Amate, I have Ali, and I have Madam Garben. If I mention your name wrong, please forgive me. And before we start, I would like for you to please introduce yourself and give us a little background about yourself.
All right. My name is Veronica Amate. I live in Germany and I am the founder of the Challenge Foundation. The Challenge Foundation is a disability organization. We mentor and coach persons with disabilities. We also do some form of charity work to persons with disabilities who are needy.
Thank you very much. Ali?
Yes, my name is Ali Duwashri, a disabled, yes, in Ghana, precisely Accra. Yes, so basically that's it, nothing else.
Nice to meet you. Okay,
nice to meet you too.
Madam Garben?
Oh, Betty is...
I think Betty's a bit frozen.
Yeah, frozen.
Okay, then when she has internet again, we can talk to her. Because we are already late, let us dive right into our topic for today. We know that the dating scene is almost like a jungle for everybody. You know,
yeah.
Nowadays there is a lot of dating scams, ghosting, racism. There are all sorts of things when it comes to dating nowadays, and dating is a very challenging period. Getting to know people in general is a very, very challenging period or time. And for today, we want to look at the dating scene when it comes to persons with disability or disabled people. Before we start, I would like for us to define what is the correct term to use, because I don't know whether the correct term is persons with disability or a disabled person. What is the correct term for us to use?
I think persons with disabilities will be able to put everybody in the category, so it's okay. If you use persons with disabilities.
Persons with disability. Okay. Yeah. So like when we are talking about persons with disability in this context, I would like for us to define, are we talking about physical disabilities or both physical and mental disabilities when it comes to the dating scene?
Yeah, for the sake of the work I do, I try to put every person that has some form of disability, together on board. And so I think that this should cover everybody who has some form of disability.
Okay, thank you very much. Ali, Mr. Ali, would you agree that we are talking about persons in this context with persons who have both physical and other disabilities?
Mental, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now then, let's move forward. What are some misconceptions that people have, especially when it comes to sexuality in persons with disability? What are some misconceptions? Because I don't know much about persons with disability, and I would like for you to educate us all about any misconceptions, whether it's physical, mental, any misconceptions that we hold when it comes to persons with disability and their sexuality.
When it comes to the term of physically challenged, as per se, in my scenario, they usually classify us as what? Impotent. Yes, that's one. Because there's one particular story that I remember. It's applied to me myself, not anybody else. I was dating a particular lady for a while. Then she came telling me that she wanted us to go and do some tests and check our blood group and all sorts of this stuff. I said, okay, I don't have any issue. We went and we did everything that we could. And at the end, she still left though. She still left me. And nothing shows that I have any problem concerning being impotent, being weak. At the same time, they classify us as if I may go deep as what's being a curse.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, that was heavy. Madam Veronica?
Yeah. So you mean you want us to tell you some of the perceptions
Yeah, the
about persons with
misconceptions.
disabilities and their romantic life, right?
Yeah, and their
Yeah.
romantic life,
Okay.
because at the end of the day, I mean,
Mm.
the essence of dating is to find a partner that you're going to build a life with.
Yeah.
And I feel like, especially on the dating scene nowadays, with the Twitter, with the Tinder and the Bumble and all of that, most of the main concerns that people have is the person even sexual. That is why I dived in straight to sexuality.
Okay. So for me, I know that many people think that persons with disabilities are inactive in bed when it comes to sexual life. And people also have some weird perception about this category of people. And so some men will want him to come and experiment based
Mm-hmm.
on those kind of weird perception they have about it, not intending any permanent relationship. So when it comes to their sexuality, there are various, perceptions. Some think they are not active. Some also sympathize so much with them that they wouldn't want to go in bed with them. There are
Mm-hmm.
others who have also heard things like, I don't know, I don't know how to describe it, but they just want to experiment how it feels like with persons with disabilities. And so they will come in, but they don't actually intend to have any permanent relationship with you. And some
Okay.
of them actually say some of these things to us, you know. Yeah.
So you're saying that some people just fetishize these people, like they just want to experiment using them as an object without knowing that there's a real person behind this body, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
And
and then there are others who also think that they are all fantasies. They think that it feels different with persons with disabilities. And so they want to try it and see.
right.
Mhm.
So when let's say like let's start in our cultural context, when you are like 18, 19, 20, and you desire to be with somebody, which is a very natural desire to start to form relationship with the opposite sex in this context. How what are some challenges persons with disability face when you even bring it up within family context? Is it something that families encourage, or they feel like you have other issues and you should concentrate on that?
Well,
Mostly, okay.
okay,
Auntie
go
Vero, please go on.
on, Ali.
Okay. Mostly, family support a lot in this particular
Mm-hmm.
scenario. The others, they could tell you that they have better things to do rather than to hear about your or escape or even the relationship issue that you want to go into.
Mm-hmm.
Concerning my disability, I always emphasize on me myself because of
Okay.
what I've went through
Mm-hmm.
as a person per se, as me myself. I have a mother that always encourage, supports, and push me in everything that I do. And moreover, to please 1 minute, I'll be with you soon.
Okay. And maybe Madam
Yeah, okay,
Veronica.
it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Let me continue. So as I
Mm-hmm.
was saying that I have a mother that always supports and push and encourage me. Whenever I'm going somewhere that she thinks that is not good, she talks to me just like my other siblings. Hey man, where
Mm-hmm.
you are going, probably they might not like you,
Mm-hmm.
but just know where you are going. Because as I said, I'm talking about my personal story here.
Mm-hmm.
Because this particular one that I said that we went through this test, through everything. This particular one said her mother said, I can't take care of her. That is one. Two, Her brother even said no because I want to come out and introduce myself that I'm interested in marrying their younger sister. The brother said no on the ground of me being a physically challenged
person.
Yes, a physically challenged person. Yes, if I would say that. And we are in a world or an environment where we ourselves don't accept what we are. Yes, we ourselves don't accept what we are. So if you yourself don't accept what you are, how can you sell yourself outside to the outside world or to anybody else that you want to go out with or anybody that you want to spend the rest of your life with? So those are the things that I've been able to build on myself to let you know that here, this is how I am. We can be talking on phone. You've never met me. I will never lie to you. Madam, I'm a physically challenged guy. I hold crutches. My left leg is like this. I don't have any issue with that. If you are okay, fine. If you are not okay, mashallah, you can move on. I can also move on with my life. So that's how it is.
Great. Okay, thank you very much, Alidu. Veronica, Madam Veronica?
Yeah, I don't remember having any conversation with my parents in that regard. But I was myself just a bit careful. I think I was very careful with the kind of people that I go out with. And I think it has affected me in a way. I actually rated certain category of people as higher than I am. And so I always say no to them. And eventually I end up going in for people that are either, I don't know, are not at par with me. I don't know how to say that. You see, so I think hearing about the perception of people about persons with disabilities has affected me so much that I was over careful. And there were certain things that I should be bold and do them. I didn't do it, and it affected me.
Okay, so jumping on that, what are some of the hurtful things that ableist people say, do, that they don't know are very hurtful and steals away the self-confidence, the self-belief of disabled people?
Okay, so some time ago, not too long ago, some few months ago, so which is to say that some people are still with some of this perception. I was having a conversation with a friend, and she went like, "Yepesa yama obeye, and that is why you became a disabled person." You know, and some of them also say things like persons with disabilities, they easily get annoyed, they are aggressive, you know, and there is also some kind of spirituality, they connect superstition to our disability. So very often you see people and they don't want to mingle with you, you know. Yeah.
Okay, so for those who did not understand what Madam Veronica said, she said a friend said that the reason why she's now a person living with disability is because at some point in her life, somebody was trying to transfer or gift her with witchcraft, and since her soul or body rejected it, it turned into her disability, which is a completely false thing. But as we know, in Africa, we associate everything with disability, with the spirituality. Even if you have an albino person, we associate all kinds of things with spirituality, which is false. Okay, Ms. Alidu, have you had any hurtful comments? That seems like it's not. I don't know. I'm not trying to make excuses for ableist people, but I know that probably sometime in my life I have said something without being sensible, without thinking about it, you know. So what are some hurtful things so that we can all learn, so that when we come into contact with our friends who are living with disability, we'll be watchful or mindful of the things that you say, because we know sometimes even in racism, like I hate it personally, I hate it when my friends at work they go on vacation and they come back and they try to put their arm next to my arm and tell me, look, I'm almost as brown as you are. I
Brown.
find it annoying, but
Yeah.
they don't think they are saying anything racist, you know. And I'm very sure we also do say some things that are hurtful to persons living with disabilities.
Yes, there's one particular statement that they normally use, which goes like this: that person, that thing too. Is that thing that you want to go out with?
Mm-hmm.
You see, and I just don't know how to say it. It is we've it's just like just part of us. So whenever you use it, you just don't care, just move on. That's me. But others will not accept it by using the word that thing or that person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yes.
because that is more like describing a thing
And
than describing a
yes,
human
as
being.
an animal or
Mhm.
just a wood per se.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Madam Betty. We don't know if you can hear us. We would like for you
Hello?
to introduce yourself. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you, Madam Betty.
Hello?
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hello?
I think she cannot hear us.
You can't hear us.
Mm.
Okay, then I guess we'll have to take her off and then she has to try again. Okay, so moving on to that now, I'd like for us to go from real life, like in physical, like trying to meet people on a day-to-day basis and trying to form a relationship with them in real life versus online. Where is the most challenge for you?
Well, I think I prefer real life than something like on dating, online dating or internet dating, because in real life the person has actually seen you
Mm-hmm.
and knows about you. So I think there and there it's up to the person to decide whether he or she wants to continue with you or not. But if it is online, it means this is somebody you have not met before. And sometimes you have that difficulty of disclosing to the person. You don't know whether you should do it up front or you do not know whether you should do it later. It becomes a bit, challenging. And well, somebody ever shared with me, I think one of our people, we have a network. She said to me that she was actually speaking to somebody. This is a radio presenter. They were talking online and they have, spoken for some time. They've talked for some time. So at a point in time, they decided to meet. And then she disclosed to the guy that she has a physical disability. All of a sudden, this guy blocked her. Yeah. And the lady was kind of emotional. And you see, I have experienced some of those things. So sometimes when they tell me, I share my experience with them. I blog on Facebook. Sometimes I don't want any relationship on Facebook. But most of them don't know I have a disability.
Mm-hmm.
They come into my inbox and write to me, and then sometimes I want to drive them away. So immediately I tell them, they tell me you are beautiful, and I say, yeah, I'm beautiful, but I have a disability. Some of them will block me immediately.
Wow.
There are others, a few of them, who will tell you it doesn't matter, you are also a human being. So when it comes to disclosing to people when you are actually dating online, it becomes a bit of a challenge. I don't know about other people, but for me, it's difficult.
Okay. Hello, Amma. Welcome. I hope you joined us from the beginning. Our topic today is we're talking about persons with disability, dating, relationship, and so on. Alidu, please tell us more about your experience with that online dating.
I'll go in for the line, dating on the line.
Mm-hmm.
There's one time that MTN was doing a particular dating exchange where they will exchange the person's number with yours and ask you whether you want to talk to the person or not. If you said yes, and they'll link the person's number to you for you to talk. I remembered after a while, I started talking to this particular lady for some time. Then we decided to meet. So I went to the location that she said. Stood, call. The first call went through. When the first call went through, I saw her picking the call, but I pretended not to. She's standing somewhere. The place that she's standing, where I was also standing, I saw her. Then I told her, oh, this is where I am. So when she saw me, then she cut the call. I called. She did not pick. She rather off her phone. So I have to go back home. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So
can I add something?
Of course, you can add anything.
There was a time that somebody popped up in my messenger, and then he went like, "You are beautiful. I want a relationship with you." So I think at the time he did not see my full picture or something like that. And so before I could even write to this person, I think he went back to Facebook or my profile and checked. So he probably found out that I have a disability. And then before I could write to him, I was even going to write and say, I don't like I'm engaged or something. You know, before I realized the guy blocked me. In fact, I was like, you see, sometimes it's their attitude, the way they approach the whole thing can be very, very hurtful. You know.
Wow. So if I am not being too inquisitive, how did you, the persons you've been in the longest relationship with, how did you finally meet this person? If you have this person is still in your life, how did you meet this person? And how did the family of this person finally accept you?
Okay. For me, I have never dated online. All the people I dated were people I met in real life. And my previous relationship was somebody that I met in real life. And we've been together for 16 years. You know, the parents were actually good to me. The family loved me. They are nice to me. And from the beginning, I think the guy himself was also very nice to me. You know, we got to a point that I thought he did not care about my disability again. But then, well, sometimes, I don't know, people avail themselves and yield to the pressures of society. And then sometimes along the line, something else happened. My phone charger is running. Let me quickly, Alidu can continue. Let me put my
okay
on charge. Yeah.
Actually, mine is we are no more. I'm no more with the lady though, but it all started when we were all in Red Cross then. I'm still a member of the Ghana Red Cross Society, still a member, and I saw her in that group. The first time that I met her, we went to a program, a marriage program of a colleague, and I said to myself, "Wow, this girl is good. I'll try my best and see if I'll succeed." Then it took me 2 months. It was on her birthday. Then I wish her happy birthday on Facebook and asked of her number. Then just a sudden she just went off for about 3 weeks.
Oh wow.
Then later I was there, then a call just came through. So I picked the call. I was wondering, hello, who is this? Then she was tried to introduce herself to me. I said, who? Till she mentioned a friend who is a cousin. I said, oh, okay. Then we started talking again. Then that was where she told me that the time that I even asked of a number, her phone got spoiled then. So that's the reason why she could not do anything. But now she went and collected my number from a friend. Oh, I said, okay. So the reason why I needed your number is this. I like you. I went straight forward. I like you. Since we know each other, you know the way that I am, we'll be seeing each other. I want you, and I really want to spend the rest of my life with you. She said, okay, then in that case, I don't want us to push it straight forward, but why don't we be friends for the start and let's see. I said, fine with me. So we started as friends. So that's how mine started for me with her. Yes.
And with this lady that you met through Red Cross,
Yes.
as you were with her for some time, how did her family take it?
That's the issue for her family. Not, I would say that the family don't know about our relationship.
Okay.
The family knows nothing about relationship because she always keeps whole thing secret, and even a relationship keep secret. So our relationship was something like a covered one. That's the truth of it. Yes, our relationship was something like a covered one because she does not want people to know. I don't know the reason. So her family don't know much about me. But it was one of her senior sister that she said she was going to meet one time. And I said, in that case, we all go together. Then we went there and I met the sister. Then I made my intention known to the sister that this the reason why we want to come and see her, all sorts of things. And the thing that she could say was, as for her, she does not have any problem, but she is just waiting for what other members will say. But for that particular statement, I took it normal. But later, I sat to reflect on that particular statement that she used. I was expecting him to say that, yes, I will support the two of you till the end. That's what I was supporting. I was expecting her to say. I'll support the two of you to the end. If anything, I will even fight with you. But when somebody used the word like, as for me, I don't have anything, but whatever, let's see whatever the family will say. Then it means that when the rest said no, you also support the no. When the rest said yes, you also support the yes. But when you made your statement straightforward that I am with you and I'll fight with you to the end, then the person knows that yes, this is the person that is standing beside me. No matter what, we are all moving together. And the girl in person said she told them, the whole family, one day that I am the one that we want to marry her. The senior brother who's standing in the place of her father because her father is no more said no, that there are able guys around. Why a disabled guy? A physically challenged guy? Why? So that's part of the story.
Amma Manson is completely agreeing with you. She's saying that most of the time it's our families that are the problem. Like the families are the biggest problem because falling in love, two people. But as we know, our society is very collective. So we listen a lot to what our friends, families, whatever has to say. You know, it's very, very important to us. Marvelyn is saying that this is a very important discussion that is drawing our attention to issues with people with disability. We normally don't think about these things. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Marv. Thank you very much for tuning in. Yes, it's true because when you live in your own bubble, I always say that when we live in our own bubble, we all have our own lived experience, and our lived experience is not somebody else's lived experience, and you might think like the world is the same for everybody, but unless you have actually lived somebody's life, you will not know what the person is facing. I am sure that tall people have what they face, short people, especially short
Short.
men, have some type of things that they uh, 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 that is the ignorant. Yes, sometimes short people also have things, that's the challenges that they face. I mean, I am not very tall. I'm a very, I don't know, average height lady. But I wonder if a man is my height, how his life experience is going to be like, because a man is supposed to be tall and strong and all of that. So we all face different types of challenges, and I am very glad to be talking to the two of you today. I would have really loved for Betty to also come in. I don't know why her internet is not allowing her to come through, but we are going to move on and until she's
Nancy,
able to join us.
yeah.
Yes, Veronica,
Um,
I wanted to
yeah,
add something.
I couldn't complete my experience. I've
Yes,
had
please
a
go ahead.
very strange experience when I came to Germany. Um, it was actually my partner who brought me here.
Mhm.
And when I came, people passed a whole lot of strange, funny comments about me, and then one day somebody told me that this is what people have been saying about you, that they've been teasing my husband, that Kofi Nako.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to listen
Sorry,
all of that. We
sorry,
come
Auntie
from,
Vero, sorry.
in as much as we think we are enlightened, there is so much ignorance. And I am happy that we have this network where most of us can learn and unlearn some things that we have learned in uh, our upbringing, because we all do say a lot of hurtful stuff. Like I have talked about bullying against my children. I have a child who is dyslexia, and I'm somebody who read. I never had a problem with reading, writing until I had that. I did not know that this is how people feel, and it challenged me. You know, it challenged me because I realized that when I was growing up as a child, I was one of those people, because I didn't have this type of challenges. And this is something that I speak on. We also have here the parenting forum. I speak on it on in the parenting forum, that I was one of those people that was like, if the teacher made fun or made the kid who can read out loud, like the kid who can read, and we all laughed. We all laughed. And I didn't know there was anything wrong with that until I had a child and I could see the hurt in my child's eye, and I was living this pain through my child. And it was like a point for me to check myself, and for me to educate myself and unlearn certain biases that I have. And it has made me aware that sometimes the way I navigate through life, I have to be very, very careful of my utterances, because my utterances can hurt somebody really deeply, and it can be something that somebody carries with them for a very, very long time. For a very, very long time. Amma Manson is sending you lots of strength and hugs and everything. And she says that thank you for being so brave to share it. If you can just, continue, if it's not too much, we would really like to hear that, because we need to learn and we need to change our attitude.
Yeah. So when I came, people started teasing the guy that, and then they normally say it in their local language. Na Kofi Nako fa oba bra na mubo bra wako fa Apache. It was the first time I heard the word Apache. I never heard it in Ghana. I'm not an Akan.
Okay.
And so one day one of them told me. So I confronted the person,
Who
and
said it?
he said that all of us have been saying it. Veronica, that time I came newly, they were calling me Asala. So Veronica, all of us have been saying it. It's not me alone. The person who told you also
Has,
says it.
has
Yeah,
also been saying it.
yeah. And they said a whole lot of, sometimes, it got to a time I tried, searching if I could actually find people who are also physically disabled. I thought I was the only African who is kind of has some form of disability that has migrated here, So a whole lot of things. There was a time I was going to have my hair do somewhere, and then the lady did my hair. She made my hair. When I finished and left the place, she said that, hey, Eradina, where so when I go find a laboratory, obey them laboratory.
Wow.
And then the person she said it to told me later on. So these are some of the things, a whole lot of. And anytime I share some of these things, I become emotional. When I started having problem with my partner, I thought that maybe it was as a result of some of the things that he was hearing from people. So,
Veronica, I'm sending you a virtual. Thank you so much for sharing this. Yuli just sent us a message. She said, yes, I agree. The approach and manner of dismissal is where the heartbreak is. For me, it's all about showing people respect at first instance. Also, it's very important how diversified people are about different issues of life. Otherwise, a lot of people will only end up mishandling things without even knowing it. So my take on the discussion is that I think at some point of online dating, it is important to disclose whether disability, whatever disability it is, to each other. That's absolutely okay. That's well. Yes, Yuli, thank you very much for sharing that with us. And Veronica, thank you for being brave enough and pushing through to share that with us. The thing is, maybe I'm going to catch flag for this, in general. Like, I've lived outside of Ghana, I've lived in the States, I've lived in the UK, I've lived in Dubai, and now I'm living in Germany. In general, I would say that the most ignorant comments you will hear, especially from my own kind, from Akan speaking people, sometimes it makes me feel ashamed, Sometimes it makes me feel ashamed. I mean, it's not just to persons with disability, especially for those who don't know what the Akan people are. We are like the largest group of people in Ghana. And sometimes, not like, as you grow, you think over certain things, I think about the ignorance we have when it comes, or the privilege we have as the largest group, where we assume and say stuff without thinking. We don't have to check ourselves. If I cannot compare accounts in Ghana to white people all around the world, because when I meet a Ghanaian person and the person says they are Ghanaian, I go straight to speaking Chi without acknowledging that there are other tribes in Ghana. We are very ignorant in that sense, and sometimes because so many people don't check us, we just say whatever comes to our mind.
yeah.
And when I first heard about the term white privilege, the only reason why I can relate and agree that there is some kind of privilege if you are the majority group against a minority group is because I come from a majority group, and I can see that, yes, we do have some kind of privilege, and we do tend to say a lot of rubbish. I am sorry you had to live that, and I'm sorry you had to listen to that. And I cannot imagine how that was for you, because I know about moving to Germany. I know about how stressful a new language, a new culture, a new city, a new system, and to have an additional layer of disability. I cannot even imagine that for anybody else, We recently had one Ghanaian actress who moved to Germany and couldn't cope and had to go back, Living in a strange country is stressful, and for people to even think they can just say that to somebody, especially, you would think that when we move abroad, we are supposed
Yes,
to become more enlightened.
yes, that is what I was thinking, because I knew or I heard that, in abroad, people embrace diversity. And I thought, but I didn't experience this kind of extreme discrimination in Ghana. In fact, I was surprised when I started experiencing it here in abroad. I couldn't understand.
It's very, very sad. It is very, very sad. There's a current trend on TikTok. Marvelyn is saying that, Lady Nika, you are more than whatever anyone thinks or say you are. Hugs. Thank you very much, Marvelyn.
Thank you,
Thank
Marvelous.
you. I was thinking about this topic, and there's a current trend on TikTok. That is like I don't want to marry too far from my culture because I don't want to explain X, Y, Z. I don't know if you've seen those videos. Or I don't want to marry too far from my religion because I don't want to explain X, Y, Z. Or I don't want to marry too far from my tribe because I don't want to explain X, Y, Z, you know? And people use like, for my culture, so I don't have to explain why, as a lady, I have to, you know, wash my panties in the shower instead of putting it in the washing machine, and or why I'm fasting and praying and all of those things, you know? And one might ask, do you think it would be much better for disabled people to rather, or it would be easier for them to date other disabled people? Or do you think that ableist people need to understand, accept, and let us know that the world is for all of us here to enjoy, and we cannot categorize others like, okay, you stay in your corner of the, you know, this is your lane, stay in it and don't cross over, you know? Because this is very similar to
Yeah.
people before they used to say black people can date white people, you know, or marry white people, you know? So that's why I'm asking this question.
There's this one thing that I want to emphasize here. The issue of us dating our own kind, it is not wrong. Neither we dating ables. It is something like the two side altogether. We can go in for left, we can go into for right. It depends on how you, the person, as a disabled, who do you want to choose as your life partner? Who do you want to go with? You want to go with an able person, or do you want to go with a disabled person? But the issue is putting it on one side that since you are disabled, or since we are physically challenged person, then ours is what? Physically challenged plus physically challenged. No. Because there are people that I know, my friends who's a physically challenged has married a physically challenged lady. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's perfect. That's what they want to do.
It's a preference. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And we, the physically challenged guys or ladies, can also decide to date our own kind or able. It doesn't matter anymore. Or because he said the word is for what? Each and every one of us. I mean, it's so big that each and every one can really have a place to stay with the one that you think is good or better for you.
Yeah.
And there is one particular friend of mine who's a neighbor guy, a guy. Always when he's there, he'll call me, Ali, have you found anybody? I say, oh no. Okay. Take this number, communicate with the person and see how it goes. He gave me one particular number. I talked to the lady while we were talking on the phone. So I was talking with the lady. I told her, even show her my picture, how I was. I'm a disabled guy, a physically challenged person. She said, okay. Then I asked two questions. The first question I asked her is this. So now that we are trying to build something here, so when it comes to your family, how is it going to be? She told me that since I am the one who needs you, or I'm the one that is in relationship with you, I'll tell my family that you are the one that I want. I said, are you sure about this? She said, yes. I said, okay. Then what about your friends? How will your friends take me? Or how will your friends address me to you? She said, oh, as for me, I don't have a lot of friends. Moreover, if even my friends are trying to say something, I'll just let them know that you are the one that I want. I said, you. About 3 days later, we were talking. Then she asked me a question that, do I use crutches or I'm in a wheelchair? I told her, no, I use crutches. She said, okay. Then later she sent an audio saying that it was a senior sister that she was staying with. Asked her to ask me that question. That am I in a wheelchair or I'm using crutches? That The senior sister said, Embwa, say uchu time kura me ma unko. Yes,
Wow.
that's the statement that she said. The senior sister said that say uchu time kura me ma unko. Then I also replied that fine, I don't have any issue with that. Despite the fact in our culture, when you are coming to marry, despite the fact that it's the two of us that will be in one room, but there are families that are supporting the marriage, not supporting financially per se, but they are thoughts and they are also they are say matters in our traditional marriage in Africa. So when they come and they say that no, this, you will not accept, there's nothing that you can do about it. They will not accept. So since your senior sister said, say between root and cry on my own core, where the since we've not reached anywhere, just about a few weeks. Okay, so you can go. I don't have any problem with that. Because I've been in a lot of relationships. That's the lady even left for another guy. Still, I was heartbroken. Seriously. I cried like a normal
Wow.
human being. Because I human being, I'll cry. I did cry. But I took it like it has come. There's nothing that you can do. So you to move on. But when you close yourself too much, you hurt yourself rather than she's rather moving on, and you are there still crying and thinking about sport milk. So move on with your life. And as I was saying, it depends on us either to choose able person or the disabled person to be with. But the aspect of us saying that since we are disabled, we should follow only disabled, I don't support that. So that's my
Thank you
thought.
very much. Yeah. Marvelyn has a question here that I would like for you to answer. She says that,
Okay.
or she asks that, do you have doubt with people who show interest in you? Are there thoughts of them trying to use you in any way?
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
of course.
Sometimes I do have doubts at that. Is this person really into me, or the person just want to need something from me? Yes, I usually have that doubts. So whenever anybody approach me that way, seriously, I don't open up freely, just like that, because I know the kind of person I am. I don't open up freely. I have to study you first before opening up. If truly you are in for a good mind, that's it. But yours is just to come and explore and go away. Then you will not get the best of me. That's it.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, Alidu.
You're welcome.
Madam Veronica.
Yes, I do feel that way. And it has been happening to me since childhood. I told you earlier on. And a certain class of people, when they even propose to me, I'm afraid that they just want to exploit me and go away. So
We
I
can't really
always
hear
feel
you,
that
Madam
way.
Veronica. Your volume is really low.
Yes.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it's much better.
Yeah,
So you were
yeah,
saying that you've had this since childhood.
yeah, yeah. So some people even propose to me, and I'm afraid to go out with such caliber of people. I think they're higher than me. I think they want to exploit me and go away. They are not really into me. And so I don't know, I don't know why I behave that way, but I feel like I'm insecure, and I always want to go out with people that I'm kind of I don't know the word to use.
Yeah, do you feel like you're not worth it, or you feel like the
Yeah,
person has ulterior motives, or
yeah,
you're just scared of what's going to happen down the road, because you don't think the person is being sincere?
yeah.
Okay. Now that we've talked about negative aspects of that, have you ever had experience of somebody who is just dating you out of pity, or who overcompensates, trying to not offend you in any way because they're just trying to date you out of pity. Have you ever had such an experience?
And I'm beginning to think my ex has done that, because it was like sometimes it goes, and the last straw that broke the camel's back was like, anytime he speak, it looks as if he's doing me a favor. I don't worth him. And it's like he's trying, being in a relationship with me. And so because of that, when they are even mistreating you, you are not supposed to resist. You are not supposed to complain. It's like you don't have a right, when they are doing bad things against you. So they tell you you are not humble, And I remember one time I was sharing with a pastor, I said, this is what my husband said to me. And I felt bad. Then the pastor said, and I said, who are you for? And I was so brown. So I asked him, even if I'm being maltreated. And I was like,
that is, I'm lost for words. That is, sometimes some of our pastors or the people that we're supposed to run to for help, they end up giving such toxic advice, especially when it comes to counseling women in general. We are always asked to be submissive because we are a woman. If you're a woman, you have to be submissive. For instance, I've had people tell me that, I know you're like you are too loud, so you have to bring it down a bit. Even when you are having maybe you're just passionate about your points. So you're trying to argue your point passionately. So I can imagine them adding that layer that, like, yeah, you should even be grateful and, you should calm down. Because there is a misconception in our society that disabled people get angry easily. It's because people are expecting that they can throw anything at you and you should not say anything back. Would you agree, Aki?
You see, I have spoken with, I made a video on this particular subject about disabled persons being aggressive. And you know that when you are rude, constantly rude towards people, it's infectious. People can actually, in return, be rude to you.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's the kind of perception. I'm not here to defend that act, when you are constantly rude towards somebody, the person becomes rude in return. And you see, I have spoken to some persons with disabilities. Why do they think that, why do people say that they are rude? And then most of them said that it is a kind of defense mechanism. Because when before they come into contact with somebody, we also have a perception that probably you are coming to mistreat us, you are coming to exploit us. And so we become like aware, so we want to remain proactive. You see, so it's a form of defense mechanism that they adopt to defend themselves. This is what I feel.
Okay, Ali, would you like to add something to that?
Not much, but she has said it. I remember we had this particular topic, and she asked me, and I told her that we normally use this particular treatment just to do what? To protect ourselves. That's the first thing that I said, to protect ourselves. Because I know that the person that is coming might say something deliberately to see how I react. There are certain times we do react peacefully, but we are bound to be angry because we are human beings. The same brain that is in able person, the same brain as in the disability person.
That's right.
Unless the person have a mental issue, which is different. But if the person is normal as you are, The only thing is that he's only what physically disabled. That's all. That's the difference. But you can think, he can also think. But the same way you throw trash to the person can also do what? Defend himself and also throw trash back at you. So Auntie Vero has said it all. It's purposely for what? Our defense mechanism that we use to protect ourselves.
And
Okay.
even if the person has some kind of mental challenge, they also have a right. You have
That's
no
true.
right to mistreat them also.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. So, Yuli, you want me to translate that? Okay, so the pastor told her that you are disabled, so you have to learn to be humble. You know, so it's like you are disabled. You don't have to have an opinion, or you
Yeah.
have to just
Yeah.
take
Exactly.
whatever you are. You have to just take whatever you are given. You know, which is wrong. You know, it's wrong in any case. I would like to ask. Uh, on that, with the persons with disability, whether it's mental or physical or anything like that, have you had people not wanting to date because they are afraid that the disability is hereditary and it must be, it can or could be passed down through bloodline?
Yes.
Yes, Betty would have been in the best position to answer this question. She was telling me a story. One of her friends, who is also physically challenged, got pregnant, and people in her community were like, so she's also pregnant. Won't she give birth to somebody who, like the baby will also become a person with disability or something like that? And then eventually the lady gave birth, and they were surprised to see that the baby is okay. So there are people who think that way. And there is also something, but that would be very sensitive, too sensitive for me to share here. But I
Yeah.
think, yeah, most people, they don't even want to have an issue with a baby with you because they think that the baby may also become disabled. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Anyway, so moving on, have you ever had a blind date experience? Has any of you ever been on a blind date before?
Yeah, that was some years back. After high school, whilst I waited for my results, I happened to work in a call center. And you see, I was always seated behind the counter. And most of these guys who came in, most of them wanted to frolic with me. And so, but they never saw me walk. They never saw me walk. So one day, one of them said he wanted to come and visit me at the com center. He came, and I was also always shy to walk in front. People who have never seen me walk, I found it difficult walking, especially guys, So he came to the call center to visit me, and I was already seated close to, not behind the counter, but close to the counter. And he also sat somewhere. And then somebody came in to make a call. I had to get up and go serve the person. It was difficult for me. So I managed. It was, I managed to go behind the counter. And then the guy was like, so I didn't answer. I was shy, and he left. When he left, he called me on phone and was like, and he repeated. I said, why? And he said, the way you managed to go behind the counter, you look like somebody who is disabled. I did not answer, but he did not call me again. We broke that communication.
Wow. Ali, have you had a blind date experience?
Yes, twice. That's
oh yeah, you told us the first one.
The first one. But the second one was the same MTN this thing. Then I met the lady at Newtown in one of the suburbs around Accra, Nima. And then she we met all right. Or she even gave me a stool. We sat, we chat very well, and she made it clearly. She made me understand that she's not into it, but she will accept. Sorry for the mistake. Accept me as a human being, as a friend. I said, oh, no problem about that. So we sat and we chat for a while. Then I left. That's it.
Ali, it seems like you're a hot cake and you're very busy, always going on dates. It looks like you're very busy going on dates. You know, you have to give us some tips. Okay.
Nancy, I remember an experience also. There
Okay,
was
good. Let's
back in
share.
the days. There was
Mm-hmm.
somebody I was also chatting with on, I think, Facebook. That time I can't remember. And then we planned to meet. So he actually came to me. And when he came to, I did not tell him I have a disability. So he came to see me. When he left, he called me and he said, Veronica, my interest in you has dwindled. I said, why? He said, I don't know, but I don't want you again. I said, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, so do you have any kind of tips? You know, wait, Mavli has something. Blind dates will be far-fetched, wouldn't it? If you go on blind dates, you must be emotionally ready for people's reaction.
Yes.
Yes, I think so too, you know. Before we sign off, what are, you know, we have young people who are living with you know, disabilities, and they are now also entering the dating world, you know. What are some of your experience that you can use to advise them how to protect their energy, how to hold on to their self-confidence and their self-belief, and you know, how to not give up in general?
Should I start?
Yes, please, Ali.
Okay. The best advice I could give is just be yourself. You meet different kind of people, but at the end, be yourself, and don't be shy about your disability. Tell them the truth about it, because I've learned that people will accept you if you yourself are trying to accept what you are, or you are trying to accept yourself. That's the way that I see it now. So whenever I'm chatting with somebody, either on Facebook or whatever, I would rather make you aware that the person that you are talking with is like this. I'm not in the mood of hiding anything from anybody, because you can't hide it forever. Eventually, it will come out when you are trying to meet one day. So they should be themselves. They should not feel shy about their disability. Bring it out. And there's one particular word that we normally use to ourselves, that disability is not inability. You can do things too. So that's the only thing that I can say. And go out and love and feel happy. That's all.
Thank you, um,
You're welcome.
Madam Veronica.
Yeah, like you rightly said at the beginning of our discussion, relationship issues in general can be very challenging, but also it is more challenging coupled with disability.
Mm-hmm.
And like Alidu said, just have confidence in yourself. Try to develop yourself, believe in yourself. There are people who look beyond your disability. And whether you should tell people upfront or later, it also depends on whom you are engaged with.
Mm-hmm.
You see, whoever will leave you if you make this known will still leave if you say it later or upfront. So just believe in yourself, work on yourself, have confidence in yourself, and then it will attract the right people. There are people who also look beyond. I have a lot of friends I speak with, and when we are talking, I mean male friends, I don't even sense, I don't feel their disability. They are more intelligent than some non-disabled guys I have spoken with. And
Right.
so, yeah, this is where I am now. There are people, a whole lot of people who actually look beyond your disability, and the right people will be attracted to you if you have confidence in yourself, if you work, you develop yourself.
Thank you very much, Madam Veronica. I feel like we should have a part 2 of this in the coming months, where we will talk to Betty as well, so we can hear from her, because I have so many questions, but we've already been here an hour, and we have another message from another comment. It says exactly, it's from Julie, sorry. Just be yourself. As a matter of fact, I think it applies to everyone to be themselves. Life is funny. Yes, it does apply to everyone. Like, we all learn challenges or issues that face one community faces. You can always get lessons from it for your own self as well. So thank you very much, Alidu, for sharing and disclosing so much. Thank you so much, Veronica, for sharing such a sensitive, part of your life with us. We know that it is not easy, and definitely we should have a part 2 where we continue to talk about and educate us, because knowing my people, we can be very ignorant sometimes in our utterances. I don't make any defense. I don't defend them at all. Yuli says, I'm very pleased to be part of this. Yes, we are also very pleased to have you here. Marvelyn, Amma, all of you who joined and commented and everything. We are very, very happy, And we hope to see you in the coming weeks. We hope to have a part 2 of this topic as we learn more, so that we can be less ignorant and unlearn certain things that maybe it has been passed on to us without us knowing that it's wrong to live or talk like that. Okay, so I'll sign off here. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Bye.